All right, guys. So today I'm just gonna be making a video about how I made 20K revenue for a coach with only 1.9K IG followers in 1 month with zero ads. This is pretty much what happened this past July, and this was through selling a high ticket ecom mentorship program. So if you're a coach, consultant, info product seller, or creator influencer with at least 10K followers and decent engagement, this training will be crucial for you because if he can do this with even a fraction of the following you have, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to take this infrastructure and the lessons I teach in the training and use it to make 30 to 50K per month for yourself by either launching your own high ticket offer or finding and scaling your existing offer. So why we work together? The reason why is because this coach was making consistent six figures a year on Amazon and had opened up his coaching program for 6 months and for 2 months, about a half a year before working for me. The first time he launched, he'd gotten a few students, but he had decided to stop accepting new applicants because he was spending all his time with his current students. He didn't have the time nor the expertise to develop a consistent way to bring in more students, even if he had the time to devote to getting to helping them. So if you're watching this and have a program already, chances are that you don't have consistent leads coming through the pipeline. You spend way too much time and are not leveraged in service delivery, and you don't have a proper sales funnel in place to depend on. Or you're great at making content to get attention, but have nowhere to drive that attention, and you don't know how to do so you can monetize your expertise. In both cases, you're great at making educational content, but you're spread too thin and your business is suffering because of it. So the bottlenecks identified in this business, I'm going to break this down into marketing, sales, and product. So within the marketing, which is getting attention, he had zero social presence. He had literally zero posts on his IG. He had literally just re-downloaded the app when I had gotten in contact with him. Nobody knew who he was. In that, he had a very small following of 1.9K. That smaller audience meant that he had less attention to convert into sales, and he had no way to stand out from any other guru or ecom coach online. People thought he was just selling a course, and he had no unique mechanism to transform his prospects. And he lacked a clear content strategy and had a lack of undeniable social proof being put out there for people to see because he has a 100% success rate with his students and great experiences and results, but nobody knew that. So looking into sales, which is a conversion of that attention into buyers, right? All the easiest and potential buyers of his audience were exhausted when he first launched because they just bought immediately, right? There was no funnel in place to get new leads. He was only selling through his IG stories, and he has zero way to nurture leads unfamiliar with with his unique mechanism. So they don't know how he can help them, and he had zero sales assets to convert people who knew what he already does. The only thing he had pushing his program was his stories, and obviously no sales process to guide the leads that were hop on calls with him. And he was charging high ticket, but not the amount he was worth. So for his service delivery, he did not have a proper onboarding procedure. He was extremely unleveraged with his time, spending hours and hours helping each client individually. And at the time, he only had his course, and people get full access to him for coaching. No form, and he also had no form of accountability for students, even though they were all succeeding with his program. And then he had a very low customer lifetime value, zero upsells or downsells for current students. And we all know that the best people to buy from you are people who already bought your program. So pretty much how I restructured his business. To understand how I restructured his business, you have to understand first of all the stages of a buyer. So at the top, you have people who are unaware of the problem that they have, and then they can become aware of the problem that they have, aware of possible solutions, aware of your solution, and then they believe in your solution, which then turns them into a buyer. So pretty much for getting traffic, the traffic channels we used was primarily Instagram, but also YouTube was a traffic channel for getting new leads. But I'd say 95% Instagram, right? So pretty much that would be through his reels and posts, and then I had to optimize his bio and put in some assets into his Instagram to get the ball rolling in terms of getting views. Now going down towards his sales, right? I'm gonna break this down from the funnel, top of the funnel to bottom of the funnel. The top of the funnel optimizes. I had him create optimized IG reels. We did not run any ads, so everything was organic. And then we also had YouTube content. In the middle of the funnel, which was essentially nurturing people, we had a lead. I had him make a lead magnet, which I scripted for him. I optimized his IG profile so that when people come on, they can learn quickly who he is and what he does. And then I also helped him create sales assets in his IG, which would handle objections. pretty pre-handle objections for prospects before they hopped on calls with them. And then also had them have a consistent IG story post schedule and reels and schedule for posting reels. And then we also invested into long form YouTube content. So that was his creating his VSL to warm prospects fully, and then also posting student testimonial videos. And then at the bottom of the funnel, essentially all of his reels, and during parts of his posting schedule, he would have a CTA to DM him for if they were interested in the program. And essentially what we would do is we would book calls through that through those DMs. And then before they even hop on the call, we would give, we'd have a little sequence of reminders that we create for them, giving them value, but we would also give them a mentorship offer letter. Essentially, this letter would outline pretty much everything, all the questions they would have before they get on the call, so that once they get on the call, it's really not much left to do in terms of selling them on the process and on what we are going to do. We try to make it so that they have as little questions as needed when they get on the call, so that the call is just as seamless as possible. So down to his product and service delivery, which is where I made the biggest change that increased his revenue by so much with so little traffic, right? I crafted upsells for his existing students. That was the biggest change we made. And then I helped him create a proper onboarding sequence and restructured the program to be easier for students, even though it already had 100% success for students. So I had him implement a roadmap inside of the program, group calls, and etc. Pretty much just to make everything more of a no brainer for people who get in there, right? And then, so taking all of this, we've scaled to 20K revenue for the month of July. What are the next steps that we're going to be using to scale even further? So now that we have these systems in place to convert and deliver for the mass amount of leads that can come in, what we will be working on is setting up larger content infrastructures to gain more attention that we will convert into leads and sales. So pretty much, here's my offer. Everything I've done here, I call it the 15-day shotgun launch protocol. So if you're that creator or influencer or coach, consultant, or info product seller with a following, right? Allow me to come into your business and do market research for you. This would be doing research calls and audience persona creation, um, drafting your offer or making your offer more compelling for people, essentially refining your offer to be better, creating your sales funnels and sales assets. That'll be your VSL, your landing page, your email list sequences, your IG story posting, and your reels as well. And then scripting those assets as well for you. And then we'll also go into implementing the sales infrastructure, managing it. So that'll be hiring setters and closers where needed, creating and refining the sales script, all of the book call flows, email nurture sequences, no show sequences, SMS nurture sequences, and then also help you with service delivery, which will be more of a consulting role, but essentially streamlining service delivery processes, assisting with strategic hiring, and then also helping you to maximize your customer LTV, which is by crafting your unique upsells, downsells, and or cross sells to your existing buyers or your disqualified buyers, so that every person that comes through your funnel doesn't ends up becoming a buyer, and you end up being able to serve them in some way. So pretty much for all this to be done for you, I know that if you're the right person, you can essentially scale to 30 to 50K per month in 90 days. And the pricing for this to be done varies depending on where you are with your business. So I would ask you to book an initial walkthrough. The link would be the link will be under this video somewhere, and there's pretty much no risk involved. I'll learn more about your business and also give you a breakdown of what you would need to do to scale specifically. And then, I'll take a step back and create a tailored plan for your goals. Worst case scenario, you can take everything that I give you and then steal it and use it for yourself and start booking a lot of calls. So, yeah.